Poland Daily Business Edition. Tonight we report from Krynica, where Economic Forum is taking place. This is an annual event. This time we talk mainly about the development of Polish economy and about the various sectors of it. Our guest tonight is Tomasz Wróblewski of Warsaw Enterprise
Hello.
Institute. Sir, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here.
And you are going to talk about the senior development, or the people in later stage of their age, and how to use their professional experience, how to give them satisfaction from being within the people, doing something creative, doing something that matters.
Yeah, one of the traps, let's call it demographic traps, is that society is getting older and older. It's not only the shrinking itself, what happens to in Polish case, but it's also that we are getting older and older. By 2030, 40% of Polish society would be age of 60 and plus, and by 10 years later, 10 to 12% of Poles will be 80 plus. So the question is not only how to sustain retirement system and a health system and provide to those people, which will be very difficult, but also how to help those people help themselves, especially how to help people who are 50 plus, 60 plus, how they can organize their own place within a company structure, and how companies are changing themselves actually to find a spot and a working place for people with a lot of experience, a lot of human resources knowledge, and the potential to also help younger employees, but also we'll be concentrating on entrepreneurship for older people. Sometimes people who never been entrepreneurs themselves, who work for companies for years, but they gain a lot of knowledge, they gain a lot of human experience, and they are quite able to, for example, open a franchise. So we'll see whole network franchises opening for seniority, for people 60 plus, who will be coming up with new business models for people who are actually coming into business with quite some money, with no debt, with a lot of potential, and with open eyes on new businesses.
But they are also risk averse. Normally in the later stage of your life you are less risk taker, and that also can affect ability to take business, because if you open a new business or you enter something that is new, you risk.
Yes, that's for sure. That's why I'm talking about some changing the perspective of the company. But you have quite several franchises who have quite large opportunities, especially in a country that's developing so fast and the labor market is developing so quick. So, for example, if you take a franchise of one of the largest oil distribution companies like Orlen, or you work with one of the retail small stores who are growing with such a speed. So your risk is minimal considering investment. The investments are not as substantial, and the risks are limited, because they are quite some time the companies themselves are trying to position either location or the needs of additional investments.
Well, Poland 20 years ago was considered a young country, or country of young people. Now we know that that was a false impression. And are we following the steps of the more developed countries like Japan or United States or England?
Well, we are not yet where Japan is. Japan has already 10% of people 80 plus. But this is with 25 countries in the world are in a position as Poland is, which is the demographic trap is irreversible. So we are heading there. The problem is not as much as how many older people we have and how fast, is much how we're gonna adjust. And it's also a case of migration. We have 2 million young people who migrated the West. And another question would be how to lure those people back when they already settled there. So, for example, in their 50s, for their seniority, after they retire in Germany, Great Britain, and France, how to make sure that they come to spend their retirement money.
That's an interesting perspective. So thank you very much for this conversation. Tomasz Wróblewski, Warsaw Enterprise Institute, and panelist here at Krynica Economic Forum.